Hello, today we are going to jump start your scooter, and in this video I will show you how. Well, hello, today we are going to jump start the scooter. Sometimes those little batteries on the scooter are really small, and if you try to really try to start the scooter many times, at one point you're going to have a problem that in 3.5 seconds those batteries, they're not working. So you're going to need to jump your scooter. So you need to have a cable that is pretty good, you know, and at one point you have to make sure that this cable is not going to be tangled, okay? You know, make sure it's going to be nice and loose, okay? So at this point you need to have a car or something that is really better than a scooter. You can jump there with a motorcycle, but the car is the best, okay? Make sure you're not going to turn on this car, okay? You're going to have this car off. The first thing we're going to connect is going to be the scooter, because the scooter at this point has the less power than the car. So make sure you're going to have one positive and one negative on each side, okay? Now at this point you're going to connect first the scooter, but you're not going to connect the black cable. You're only going to connect the red cable. Now what I want you to be careful that right here you have a red cable right here on this side, but you don't have it on this side. The connection right here will transfer current on the other side, but always try to connect this cable right here first, okay? This part of the clamp first. I show you how to do it right now on the scooter, and the battery on the scooter is on the lower side, just the place where you're going to place your feet all the time. That's where the battery is located. Okay, to go to the battery, just remove right here your floor mat, and right here you're going to see the cover of your battery. Right here you have a Phillips screw that you have to remove 1 and 2 on each side, okay? So you can use a Phillips screwdriver to remove these 2 screws that you have on the cover. Right after you've done that, you're able to remove the little cover that is right here in top of the battery. That's it, that's the little cover right here. After you remove the little cover from the battery, you're going to see your battery right here. Now when you see the battery right here, you're able to connect one of the clamp right here, the alligator clamp, to your battery. Just the positive side. Right here on my battery, the positive side. On the left side, you're going to see the positive side. That's where is already the red cable coming to the battery. Okay? Now you can connect this one right here. Now the way I connect this one, I take the plastic tube that is on the right side right here. Okay? And I let the cable be on the left side. Now, if you can see right here, that's the battery, and this is the part where is the red positive going. The one on the right side is the negative. You're going to see a black cable on your right side, okay? Right here is the negative, and this one is the positive. So for now, only connect the red positive on the left side of the battery. Do not connect this one, that is the black alligator. For now, let's just put this one right here on the right side, so it's not going to touch the battery and it's not going to touch the positive side. You want to be careful, okay? Because you don't want to connect this one yet. Now, okay, right after you connect the battery right here, the scooter, make sure that your scooter key is off, the ignition is off. Turn the key off even before you connect this one, okay? You don't want to have any extra charge coming to your scooter at the moment. Okay, right after we are done this one, we can go to the car. Okay, right after you connect the alligator clamp from the jumper cable to your scooter, you can go to the car. Now you have to find out which one is the positive and the negative part of the battery. The positive as a plus, the negative as a minus. Usually the minus part has a black cable, and usually the red cable is on the positive side of the battery. So at this point we can connect this battery right here. Okay, looking at the battery right here, you see a minus and you see a positive. Usually there is a a fuse on the positive side of the battery. So first connect the positive. Right after, we're going to connect the negative side of the battery right here. Okay, make sure they're connected nicely. Okay, you want to make sure that they make a nice contact and they're nice and firm and they're not moving. Okay, because you don't want them to disconnect when you're trying to start your scooter. Now make sure the cables are away from anything that moves. Okay, make sure the cables are away from the fan and away from the belt. Okay, you don't want to make sure that this cable are going to catch on the belt or they're catching on the fan. So it's not going to be a good thing. At this point, we can go back to the scooter. Right after we connect the alligator from the jumper cable right here at the battery. Okay, right after you connect the cable to the car, right here, we are going to connect this black negative side of the jumper cable, not on the battery, but on the frame of the scooter, okay? Now you have to find a clear place where to put this negative side. So usually I connect myself to the center stand, or I connect myself at the bolt of the center stand, okay? So we're going to go to the bolt of the center stand right here, and we're gonna connect this black part right here. You wanna make sure that it's gonna be nice and firm, that it's not going to move, okay? At this point, you can turn the key of the scooter. Why I connect myself right here is because sometimes you can make sparks when you turn on the scooter or when you connect this part right here to your scooter. Make sure that the car is off. Do not turn the car on, because at that point the alternator of the car is going to give too much power to the battery and is going to fry maybe the cables, or maybe it's going to fry a fuse on your scooter. At that point it's not going to work anymore. So you have to be careful, because sometimes cars, they have a lot of more power than the scooter, and they will make some problems to the scooter when you're going to try to turn your scooter on. Or sometimes they can even burn the starter on your scooter. So you have to be gentle with the scooters, okay? Because they're very small battery, they're really small wires, and these scooters sometimes, if you send too much electricity through the cables, and there is something wrong on the cables, they're going to melt. So at this point, right after you put this connection right here, and you have the connection right here first, there will be the red one, positive right here, you are able to turn the key of the scooter. To turn your scooter on, just turn the key, pull the brake, and push the button of the starter. See, the scooter just needs a little bit of starting, not really much, okay? Right after, make sure you remove right away the red part of the alligator on your scooter and the black part, okay? Down here. Remove them right away. Keep them separate, okay? Keep them separate. And after you keep them separate, you can go to the car and remove the wires from the car. Okay, right after you remove this one from your scooter, make sure you keep them separate, okay? Don't let them touch you, because they're still connected to the car. At this point, remove the red side from the car, and you can remove the negative side from the car. So you're going to be okay. Make sure they never touch each other, okay? They're making spark. Especially if you make spark close to the battery. It's not really safe. Okay, I just show you how to jump start your scooter. Please be careful when you play with these cables, okay? When you work with this cable, never touch the negative side to the positive side, okay? Because you might have some sparks, and never do any sparks really close to your scooter. Now, make sure that when you connect the negative part, you connect it on the negative side of the battery on the car. And on the scooter, do not connect the negative side on the battery, but connect it on the frame or some other place that you can touch naked metal, okay? So that's some clean metal. That's where you can get some ground, okay? the red part, always be careful, you know, when you connect it, make sure that it's gonna touch the positive part of the battery in a nice clear way. Okay, after you turn on your scooter with your car, never turn on the car. That's really important, okay, because you're going to get too much electricity with the alternator. Just leave the car off, connect the battery to your scooter, and you can jump your scooter, because if you turn on the car, you're going to have too much power, okay? Too much power, too much voltage inside these cables can fry the cables that you have on your scooter, because the cables on the scooter, they're very thin. So really pay attention to that. So after that, you can disconnect the scooter right after the scooter starts. Disconnect it right away, and after you disconnect the car, okay? So keep an eye on that. If the scooter doesn't want to start, do not force the scooter, because sometimes the scooter has other problems. So if you're trying to jump start the scooter because the battery is dead, is one thing. But if the scooter doesn't want to start, even with the car, don't keep pushing the scooter, because at that point the scooter is going to burn the starter motor. So keep an eye on that. Okay, at this point, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and thank you!